Hi there folks, my name's NovaWin24 and welcome to another little review of an FSX product. So today we're having a look at something from my hangar. I've had this for a little bit, but I know there's always the interest in airliners, and you know, I don't mind airliners myself, but you know, I'm not a huge fan, but you know what, every now and again I don't mind flying the old tube liners, and today we're going to have a look at one that I've had in my hangar, and I want to sort of share my thoughts on it and sort of give my sort of feelings about it, because I know there's quite a few pilots out there who enjoy the tube liners, and you know what, I've figured it's probably high time that I started sort of showing a bit of interest in them. So this is the Commercial Level Simulations DC-10. Now this is available, has been available for a little while from Commercial Level Simulations, which is a cool little company. They've been kicking around for a while. They usually release some under other companies' names, but they also release stuff under their own name as well. So this is one of their sort of one of their line. They don't really sort of have a budget or pro line or whatever, but it's an interesting little range. Now they've been developing for everything from FS9 through to FSX and P3D. So always good to see a developer that's been kicking around for a while. And yeah, I picked this one up because the DC-10 just it fascinates me. It really does. So it's from that sort of era of jet travel, which is you know, sort of fast departing now, where things were a little differently. And things were loud and brash and all the rest of it. And this is a fairly interesting aircraft as well, because it's a tri-jet. So you got one under each of the wings, and you got one mounted in the tail. And you know, I just think it's kind of cool. It does also have some military service as well. It served in various air forces around the world as tanker and transport aircraft, most notably in the United States Air Force and the Royal Air Force as well. So yeah, it's as I said, something I wanted to share with this one, and something that tickled my fancy. So I figured better have a look at it, and I might bring a little flight to you guys. So what we're going to do is we're having a look at the external textures. And the external textures are quite nice as well. So it is fairly detailed as well. Not as much of the reflectivity that you see in some of the newer aircraft as well, but you know, it's still looking pretty nice, and it responds to time of day as well. As you can see, just the cabin lights just went out then. Yeah, so yeah, you can't control those, but hey, you know, it's still a kind of cool animation. So yeah, you can see the nice animations there on the outside, as well as the nice kind of, the particular. I like the engine and the bird warning sort of eye thing that's there at the start of in the front of the engine turbine blades, which always looks pretty cool. And so that's nicely modelled as well. So yeah, we're going to have a quick little flight here. We're going to be flying from Inverness, and we're going to be going on to Glasgow. So we're going to do a short little flight. I'm going to show off this aircraft here. So probably enough of me waffling on. Let's get our flight underway. So first of all, we want to be pushing back. So it comes with its own animated pushback truck. Get that pushback underway. Now, it's a nice little airport, this one. I realise now that I've loaded in, possibly not the best for a DC-10, because it is fairly small and fairly tight with its taxiways. But you know, we'll give it a shot, and we'll forgive. Hopefully, the airport owners will forgive us for any light poles or anything, any damage we may cause to any of the airport facilities. All right, push ourselves back to the edge of the ramp there. Alright, let's get underway. Alright, so here we are in the office. So let's get done, and we might go through the cockpit once we sort of take off, I think. We'll get ourselves in the air first. I've got our triple jets going. We're going to have a fairly tight taxi circle here. So the train we're going to be flying over today is going to be provided by Orbix, FTX Orbix Scotland. Highly recommend it on if you do enjoy flying around the Scottish Isles. Yeah, we should be clear of that citation. We'll taxi up to our departure runway. not gonna be using that one because that's the really short runway. So we're gonna cross over 1-2. We're gonna be using 2-3 for our departure today. Because I don't think there's any way in hell I'm getting this DC-10 off that one. Now I might just... Oh, there we are. Again, trying very hard not to go into the grass too much. Alright, it's a little bit dark in this cockpit. So, try not to go off the taxiways there. Yeah, very narrow taxiways. Possibly not the best choice as airfield, but that's okay. It's a nice short trip, so that was one of the reasons why I picked it. I think it's a little bit dark in this cockpit. There we go. That's a bit clearer now. Go. Differential thrust always very helpful when navigating around the tight airfields. Alright, brakes on a little bit. Get her lined up on the center line. Alright. Okay. Alright. Now we've got all our checks on, so we'll do 2 notches of our flaps. This is a fairly short runway. Alright. I think we're ready to go. Now, I'm going to make sure I've got, yep, 6,000 feet. I've preloaded the VOR, or the ILS frequency for our approach into Glasgow. Alright, check the altimeter. Let's go. Alright, let's get the throttles moving up. Train 1's increase. Yeah, sound cutter there. That's a bit odd. Alright, full throttle and brakes off. There she goes thundering down the runway. Try not to run off the edge of the runway as we take off. There we go. Alright, gear up. Flaps up. Bring back the throttles a little bit. There we go. Ah, some rather murky weather for our takeoff here. Alright. Ourselves started back on, turning onto course. Now we're flying very close to, we don't want to overspeed. Definitely bring the throttles back. The beautiful mist in the moors. Alright, so now that we're in the air, it's disturbing that the sound hasn't come back. That's a little bit disturbing. Alright, let's get our autopilot on. Altitude. And let's put our GPS flight plan. Fantastic. There we go. Okay. Alright. So now that we've got our ourselves set up for this, let's have a little look around the office. All right, so the office is as you can see, it's a fairly Spartan layout to the office. So we've got a fairly basic ones. Now this is something that's of CLS, is that it's a functional product. So it may not have all these crazy beautiful gadgets and stuff like that, but it does have, it's a very functional layout. So it's a very simple cockpit. Now, some people will say, oh, but it's not going to have, it doesn't have all the things that I could have on my, on my PMDG and stuff like that. It's like, well, no, you're not. You're not. But it's going to be something that if you want to get the experience of flying the tube liner without having to, go through thousands and thousands of hours of sort of, checking manuals and stuff like that, and you just want to get the experience of it, it's not a bad way to do it. So as you can see, it's got nice clear gauges and stuff like that. One of the other things as well, because CLS do design theirs to work with both FSX and with FS9 or FS 2004, the fact is often the find they do keep it simple, with the simple fact that it is something that's going to be cross-compatible with multiple simulators. So it does have a functional FMC or INS or FMC INS type system. So you can go here, you can actually check, program your channels and stuff like that. So for example, you can set up your, if you want to change one of the channels, instead of having to try to find a dial or something, we can go, okay, so 121.0. Okay, so we can program that as the scratch pad and then bang, straight into your COM1 as well. So fairly simple, fairly basic kind of idea with that one, so not too bad. And of course, we've got the you got the center console there, so you got another version of the FMC in there, along with your manual dials for all your nav and frequency controls as well, and all your throttle quadrants and stuff like that as well. So yeah, you do have all three engines, which is nice to be able to control all three of your engines with that as well. And of course you've got a functional overhead display panel with all your warning lights and things like that, with all your start engines and stuff like that. So yeah, is it the absolute amazing huge quality? No, it's not. But for value for money, it's not bad. It really isn't bad. It keeps things simple, it keeps things basic, and you know what, it works. It really does. You've got, the texture modeling is quite nice. The flight dynamics are fairly good. It just keeps it nice and relaxed for you. So if you're looking for an introduction and you want to find something different, but you still want to have something that's quality but not excessively in-depth, this is not a bad way for you to start. So the CLS guys have done a nice compromise, as I said, between absolute realism and keeping it accessible for all. So all those people that sort of, and this is actually, I think, is a really great sort of first step as well, because, there's a lot of people go, oh, well, your PMDG is amazing. And don't get me wrong, PMDG do amazing quality work. They really do. But if you're just starting out in flight sim and you go straight into something like PMDG, you are going to ruin your experience for life. End of story. So, this is a one that's not bad, sort of step one there. Now, couple of bugs with it. Yes, there are a couple of bugs. So, for example, the sound bug. As you can see, I should be able to hear the engines right now. I can't. That's a little annoying. Not really sure why I can't, but I can't. Now, I did this test flight just before, and everything worked fine. Don't know why it's not working at the moment. A little bit weird. So, but you know what? That's a small thing. I'm sure if I do... Actually, let me just try something. Okay, so I've got the exterior sounds working. Cool, and they're back. Low volume, but they're back. So, it's a little thing. So, yeah, little bugs, but tell you what, I've seen and heard, well, heard that bug in quite a few other aircraft as well, in various both free and payware. So, nothing to be too concerned about. Is this going to blow your mind with actually? No. Is it going to be a great step for you if you want to sort of try your hand at some tube liners and get some experience with a classic aircraft? Yeah, not bad. Definitely worth a look. So as I said, we're going to be doing this. We're taking this beautiful flight over the Scottish Mountains at the moment, and we're heading down into Glasgow and just sitting back and enjoying the scenery. So yeah, it's not a bad little add-on. I'm very, very happy with it. It's an iconic aircraft, as I said. There's just that image you can see as it flies by of the 3 engines on it. It just looks cool. You know, it really does. They've got some animations in there as well, but you know, nothing too flash, nothing too special. But it just looks pretty damn amazing. And as I said, overall, I don't fly tube liners a lot, but you know what? When I do, this is not a bad way to do it. So we'll go for the quick sort of fly around the aircraft now that we're up in the air. We can still see some of the other textures as well. So the texture quality is reasonably good. It's not, you know, again, not amazing, but at the same time, it covers the basics. It's a little bit grainy here and there, but overall, still a, you know, really good quality. Am I going to recommend this? You know what? I am going to recommend this because of the fact that it doesn't, you know, it's a great first step, a great learning tool, and a great sort of step for you to be able to get into your experience in flight sim and be able to find something a little bit different. Plus, you know, I'm flying it, and I chose this colour scheme because, let's face it, I'm flying in Scotland. I had to fly British Airways. Let's be honest, I just had to do it. Yeah, I'm going to say back what I said. It wasn't very detailed, the textures. You know what? No, I'm going to take that back. They are really good, complete with like the dirt and all the things on the actual flaps and the ailerons and the spoilers. So you know what? Really well done, guys. You did some good good work with this one. Now there is this comes as a base pack, so the aircraft that we're flying is from the base pack here. There is also an expansion pack as well, which adds in additional liveries and an INS capable version as well. It comes with a whole range of the aircraft, of the whole fleet of the range. So it comes everything from the early Dash 2, Dash 3 models all the way through to the final Dash 4s, as well as the militarized versions, the KC-10, which was the US Air Force designation of it, and it also comes with the freighter models as well. So you know, you've got quite the variety that you can fly with, and they do all handle differently as well. So again, great work with the fact that you know you can get an experience, and you get a wide-ranging experience with this one add-on. So you're not just got one type of aircraft, you actually get a multiple versions of it, which is always nice to have as well. So yeah, not a bad little way to start. Alright, so here we are, folks, and we're just about to start our approach into Glasgow, and it looks like it's going to be fairly horrible weather down there for us to land into, so good thing we're going to be coming in on an ILS today. Alright, okay, so speaking of which, yep, ILS frequency is set. Alright, so we're going to take our autopilot off, we'll throttle back and start our descent. Mouse cursor out of the way. Yep, so we're descending out of our cruise. Oh no, it's cleared up just in front of the airport. How nice is that? Alright, so we're going to expedite our descent. You can see the lights of the runway there.
Sync brake. Sync brake.
Yep, I know. Yes, because I'm not a full commercial pilot, so I'm sort of bleeding off airspeed a little bit faster than I probably should be. Okay. Alright, so here we are, we've got the Pappies in sight. The speed brakes out, bleed off some of that airspeed.
Sync brake. Sync brake. Sync brake. Sync brake. Sync brake.
Alright.
Too low terrain. Too low terrain.
Drop our gear.
Too low terrain. Brake. Sync brake.
So as you can see, all the Betty alarms work nicely.
Sync brake. Sync brake. Sync brake.
Alright, watch our sync rate.
300.
300 feet. A little bit below the glide slope.
200.
Coming in. I think we should be out of here. I think we should be right. Okay.
100. 30.
40.
Retard.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Retard.
Down. Okay. Let it float a little bit too long. Full reverses. Yep, we're on full reverse. Brakes. Will we come to stop before the end of the runway? Yes, we will. Okay. Hey, this is good. This is good. This is good. This is good. Well, that's what the overrun is for. So there we go. Okay. So we're down. Alright. Made a slight bit of a pig's breakfast of that, but you know what? That's fine. And this is, yeah, as I said, this is the thing, is that this model from CLS is going to be good for people like me who don't often fly your big tube liners and stuff like that. So it's a good way to actually start and get yourself underway. And if you do want to break into that world and just want to see what it's like before going out and spending the ridiculous sort of amounts of money that the PMDG charge for. Don't get me wrong, it's well deserved the price they charge for it, because it is there are great products. But at the same time, you don't want to be starting your journey in tube liners with something that is that complex. You want to get yourself in slowly, and the default ones are there, not too bad. But this is a good sort of next step, sort of giving you into some experience of actually some tube liner aircraft. So there you go. Alright, so my overall thoughts. My overall thoughts are, look, it's a great add-on. For what it is, it is pretty damn awesome. It really is. It gives you the options to do something a little bit different, to actually get things going. Yep. And we're good. There we are. Come to a stop. Just in time. Alright, so as we shut this aircraft down, let's have a sort of a think about it. So, as I said, not a bad little add-on. I think it's pretty awesome. I'm fairly happy with it. As I said, I'm not a huge tube liner flyer, so for me, this is a great way to sort of get an introduction to tube liner aircraft without having to go overboard too much. And you know what? I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. It still presents me with a bit of a challenge, because it's not something that I'm used to, and something that is a little bit different. So I am happy with that. So this is available from either direct from commercial level simulations, CLS commercial level simulations.com. I'll put the link in the comments down below for you to enjoy as well. Otherwise, it is also available from some retailers. Just check your preferred online flight supplier for details as well. Alright folks, well, thanks very much for joining me for this rather interesting flight in a jetliner, something that I don't normally do, but I hope you've enjoyed it and weren't banging your head against the screen too much on your while watching me do this. But anyway, as I said, something a little bit different for me and for everybody. Alright folks, well, thanks very much for joining me on this little review of Commercial Level Simulations DC-10. As always, don't forget you can find me on, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying these things and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.